This presentation was paid for by CGTN. The opinions, views, and claims expressed are those of CGTN and may not necessarily reflect those of CNBC.
Economy, innovation, culture, exploration. Discover the vibrant pulse of China's economy and dive into the rich tapestry of its culture. Embark on a journey of exploration with Meet China. Here, your journey begins.
Hello everyone, welcome to Meet China. I'm Lulu. Today we have some truly interesting stories lined up for you that will offer you a fresh look at China from different angles. So buckle up as we are driving into the skyrocketing popularity of Chinese dramas on global streaming platforms, the wild journey of a box of cherries all the way from Chile to China, how a tiny remote village is turning its ethnic culture into a tourism gold mine, and the epic battle to save a desert crossing railway from being swallowed by sand. Now, let's get into it. Chinese dramas, or as they're called on the internet, C-dramas, are blowing up on international streaming platforms. Seriously, if you search, you can find millions of topics under hashtag C-dramas on social media. So what is the secret sauce? Well, our reporter digs into what makes those shows so appealing to international audiences and the tricky balance of cultural adaptation.
君子爱不多人所爱，还不快跪下！
Chinese dramas, or C-dramas, have gained immense popularity among international audiences. One notable fan is my colleague Sean, who's Irish and particularly enjoys Chinese period dramas and their traditional clothing.
这样不会太显眼。我认为这速用器。
There's actually a lot of dramas that I really love that are C-dramas. Can I show you some of them?
Yeah, show me.
Okay, cool. So many popular genres exist overseas, including modern dramas like this one here, Love on the Edge. I'll show you my favorite one. This one here. Love game. Yeah, love game in Eastern fantasy. I love it so much. So fun.
Do you know this actress?
I'm going
She's
to butcher her name, but Yu Xiaoxin.
虞书欣。
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 表示是最燃脂的有氧运动，你看你的游泳圈已经快控制不住了。我有时候也是会在海。
Sometimes, I post updates on overseas social media. My posts are flooded with fans from abroad, calling me meow meow, typing it in pinyin. I feel that more and more international friends are enjoying Chinese dramas these days. I hope that through the period dramas I've been a part of, especially those with traditional costumes, they can gain a deeper understanding of China's history and culture. For example, in Love Game and Eastern Fantasy, many of my accessories, as well as the merchandise we created later, are inspired by our intangible cultural heritage, including embroidered pouches and various Nanjing velvet flower elements. I think this is a great opportunity to actively promote our culture globally through C-drama.
As C-dramas grow in popularity overseas, their international distribution methods have become more diverse. On one hand, numerous high-quality domestic dramas are translated into various languages and shared on platforms like YouTube, Netflix, and Viki.
I really do enjoy watching these shows, mostly because they remind me of the beautiful culture I got to experience in China. From the musical instruments, to the calligraphy, to the poetry and the clothing, it's really a unique experience, and it's a wonderful aesthetic for the audience to enjoy.
I enjoy watching Chinese TV dramas, and over the past few years, I've noticed a significant improvement. First, with more complex storylines, the overall quality has gotten much better. In the past, even slightly longer story arcs tended to drag on, but now the pacing is tighter, and new episodes are released more quickly. Additionally, the actors and actresses in recent dramas have become even more attractive, which makes me want to watch them even more.
In fact, the sales price of a TV shows can reflect the popularity of C-dramas overseas. In the past, the average overseas sales price for period dramas was about $80,000 per episode, while contemporary urban dramas typically sold for around $5,000 to $6,000 per episode. However, in recent years, high-quality urban drama have been able to command price between $50,000 to $80,000 per episode.
On the other hand, video platforms are launching localized operations and international versions for simultaneous domestic and overseas broadcasts.
Initially, our main focus was on distribution and operating through our own platform. Over time, we realized that our users preferred watching content on our platform, often exploring more specialized sections. To better align with our users' interests, we decided to offer membership services and launch promotional activities for our app. One challenge we encountered was the cultural and language barriers in international markets. As a result, we prioritized content that features more universal themes, such as campus romance and mystery genres. We also sought out unique and fresh content ideas. Moving forward, we may experiment with shorter storytelling formats, particularly in the mystery genre, while incorporating China's unique historical context and our distinctive storytelling style. For the international versions, our main focus is on offering a wider range of languages and subtitle options. While the core content remains the same, we adapt the subtitles and dubbing to suit the preferences of different countries and regions. For example, in Vietnam, viewers prefer narrated voiceovers. In response, we are leveraging AI technology and investing heavily in localized content production and translation. We believe this approach will better serve local audiences and help us attract more users.
According to the 2024 China Drama Development Report released by the National Radio and Television Administration, the export value of Chinese television dramas has been steadily increasing year by year. From 2012 to 2023, the export value rose from $24 million to $17 million. As Chinese dramas continue to grow in international popularity, interest in Chinese culture is also increasing. This creates a positive cycle, connecting the works to the idols and further enriching Chinese content.
This presentation was paid for by CGTN. The opinions, views, and claims expressed are those of CGTN and may not necessarily reflect those of CNBC.
Now let's talk about cherries. I love them. Many Chinese consumers love cherries too. And here's the kicker. Many of them actually come from Chile. So in the next story, we'll track a box of cherries leaving a farm in Chile to arrive in a supermarket in China. And it's not just about the fruit itself. The story tells us how cutting tariffs and opening markets are making it easier for your favorite treat to land on your plate.
Vendors in the southern Chinese market are celebrating the arrival of a fresh shipment of cherries from Chile.
Good quality cherries!
Now, hold on a moment. Did these cherries really come from Chile? How are they so fresh? To find out, let's go back in time.
We got here at 5 a.m. this morning, just as this container ship arrived from Chile. And with it came all the cherries one can imagine. And now workers are working to move the fruits off the vessel and onto distribution trucks.
This is the first batch of cherries of the year, directly destined for Shenzhen from Chile after a 23-day voyage.
We transported approximately 220 containers and 4,200 tons of cherries. All of them are from Chile, including popular mainstream varieties such as Centina, Rapins, Regina, and Cordia, etc.
For 7 years, China has been the biggest market for Chilean cherries, importing over 90% of Chile's cherry production. To keep the cherries fresh, speed and efficiency are fully relied on.
For cherries that need to be checked, we help businesses use methods like scheduled inspection and conditional release. This allows for quick inspection right after arrival and fast release, cutting customs clearance times by more than 30%.
And then, inland transportation.
Now let's follow one of the drivers and head to the largest wholesale market in South China.
A 2-hour journey from Shenzhen to Guangzhou can take longer during cherry season, as more trucks are on the road.
Starting from this month, our business has grown. Most of our colleagues went to Nansha Port. I did not go there, I just stay here. All of us are transporting cherries to Guangzhou Jiangnan wholesale market, which are then distributed to other places.
This also happens to coincide with China's winter holiday, and this explains the high demand for cherries from customers, as they are considered a perfect festival food item and sell out quickly once the containers are opened. The sooner customers mark down their names, the better chance they have of selecting cherries they want.
The overall quality of this brand is very stable, so I decided to make the order just after taking a quick look.
The Chilean Fruit Exporters Association expects that in 2024-2025 season, Chile will produce more cherries than ever before, with exports increasing by 50% compared to that of the previous. As a result of the large increase in production, the price of Chilean cherries has dropped significantly, which has been welcomed by customers. So how are farmers and importers coping with the rapid changes in the market?
What happened right now is the market is make a big difference between good quality and bad quality. So the challenge is for us to improve quality, but also we need the support of shipping lines to arrive on time, to follow the market trends.
The journey of Chilean cherries to China is a complex interplay of production, export, logistics, and demand dynamics. As China has continuously lowered the import tariffs on consumer goods, expanded market access to other countries, Chilean cherries will be more affordable for Chinese consumers and more profitable for Chilean farmers. A win-win scenario for both peoples.
This presentation was paid for by CGTN. The opinions, views, and claims expressed are those of CGTN and may not necessarily reflect those of CNBC.
Next up, we're traveling to Yunnan province in southwest China. You probably have seen some stunning pictures of the landscapes there, right? But today we're going to take you off the beaten path to a mountain village that's totally transformed itself. This place went from middle of nowhere to a must-visit spot thanks to eco-agriculture tourism and some smart community-led projects that mix its local ethnic culture with modern vibes.
This is hand sanitizer. The hand sanitizer. Here it is. Just a moment, I'll get the shampoo. I'll also get the toilet paper. I'm Zhou Zhixue. In the past, I worked away from the village as a waiter, well driller, porter, and chef assistant. Now, I am the general manager at our village's cooperative.
Hebian is one Yao village, located in Mengla County, Yunnan Province, on the China-Lao border. In recent years, the village has become a popular destination for tourism, thanks to its new homestay business.
Long time no see. Look at the boy. He's so big now. This is where the villagers used to live. It is the old house of Panfaro. You can see what it was like. Understandably, they didn't want to stay in these wooden houses, so we built new ones for them.
The story begins 10 years ago when Professor Li and his colleagues made their first visit. Back then, the village was cut off from the cities, with no roads and no electricity. People shared living space with their livestock. They wanted change.
Hebian Village is a remote, isolated place, far from cities, other regions, markets, and modern civilization. It has been left behind by the pace of development. Finding the right industry took time. In order to raise the farmers' incomes, we needed an industry that could bring substantial revenue. We found that tourists visiting the village often couldn't find accommodations. This inspired us to establish the homestay business. As the initiative grew, we faced a new challenge: fair guest distribution among households. Managing bookings individually would lead to chaos, so we decided to collectively discuss and manage the business.
The cooperative, central to Hebian Village's business operations, is managed by 5 young villagers, including Zhou Zhixue.
A group of foreign tourists are arriving tomorrow, so I need to finish the room arrangements today. Whenever guests are expected, I work overtime to assign rooms and notify the villagers in advance.
As the cooperative's general manager, Zhou takes care of every aspect of the business. He wants to ensure that guests have a pleasant stay when they visit.
The room smells of wood. This window outside needs to be opened. We need to open this window, close the screen window, then open the window for ventilation. This smell will be much less.
Okay.
Please make the bed in advance.
I'll take care of it.
While the cooperatives in other villages tend to be managed by third-party companies, as is common in many places, in Hebian Village, we run the cooperative ourselves. Our turnover stays entirely in the village. We all live in the village. There are quite a few of us. We have a long tradition of mutual support. We work and live in the village, trying to broaden our sources of income, which will remain in the village. It sets us apart from other places.
Hurry up! I heard some special guests are coming to the village today, who are even more distinguished than the county mayor. The mayor should treat them with great respect. Wow, don't you city people want to see these guests? They come quietly, have a meal, and leave without paying. They are the wild elephants. There are quite a few of them, right? My name is Zhou Jiqiang, and I'm 25. I recently returned to the village after an illness had left me unable to work. While working in the city, I learned online video editing. I thought that now I'm back, I could use those skills to promote our village.
Zhou Zhixue's younger brother, Zhou Zhiqian, is the village's self-appointed vlogger. Zhiqiang has documented the village's changes on his phone, opening a window for the outside world to know this remote village.
Muhammad, 3 Muhammad.
Today, Hebian Village is hosting an international group. Dozens of experts and officials from over 10 Belt and Road countries are paying a visit and staying for 2 nights here. They want to gain insight into China's rural development strategies firsthand.
He's La Jiao, the vlogger at Hebian Village. He keeps filming the place. He has a talent for discovering interesting stories and themes. We follow his updates closely and love watching them all.
However, I haven't made enough videos yet.
No rush, take your time. Your content reflects how life is. We appreciate the natural and genuine feel of what you create.
By filming short videos of the village, people will know that there is such a village that is different from others.
I create these videos not for myself, but for the village. I want to make our village known online, because I feel deeply grateful. When I fell ill, I received help from many in the village. This is my way of giving back. That's why I continue making these videos.
Has Hebian Village truly lifted itself out of poverty? Are the villagers really earning more? Anyone who has visited here knows the answer is a resounding yes. In 2015, the average household income was around 10,000 yuan. Today, it's about 60,000 yuan. When I first arrived, motorcycles were a luxury. Now, many villagers own cars. And in less than a decade, industries have emerged here.
The most important things is that you have actually focused
on empowering young people, and that is a transformative approach because it changes the way people think.
In the past 2 to 3 years, our village has undergone remarkable changes. First, the appearance has changed entirely. Second, people in the village have become more welcoming. Previously, before we developed the homestay business, everyone was preoccupied with their own farming tasks, with little interaction. Now, knowing how to communicate, the villagers have become more social to both guests and each other.
Hebian Village has been developing for a decade. In another 10 years, it'll have developed its own unique character.
This presentation was paid for by CGTN. The opinions, views, and claims expressed are those of CGTN and may not necessarily reflect those of CNBC.
Time now as we board on the Baotou-Lanzhou Railway. That's China's first railway that goes through the desert. This major route has been battling with sandstorm and desertification for years until the discovery of a method called wheatgrass square grid, where this technology helped to reclaim about 1.8 million acres of land. Let's now delve into this remarkable tale of resilience.
The Baotou-Lanzhou Railway is China's first desert railway. More than 60 years ago, the railway was flanked by nothing but sand dunes. At any time, the railway line could be swallowed by the desert. So to safeguard the railway, people began to take measures to control the sand.
After being partially buried, the parts above the ground are 15 to 20 centimeters. They can form a barrier to the sand.
Some forest farm workers once arranged straw in the form of Chinese characters, meaning man can conquer nature. To their surprise, the square characters were not buried by sandstorms. Experiments show straw checkerboards of 1 meter by 1 meter worked best for fixing the sand. Ever since, this seemingly weak straw has guarded against the encroaching sand.
I remember in 1976, the visibility was less than 5 meters. People were killed by roadside signs that were blown away.
Things are better now.
Thanks to sand control. Before the invention of the checkerboard, the remaining straws would be burned, which resulted in air pollution. This problem is now solved. The remaining straw will be bundled up before being trucked away.
This seemingly mundane project lasted decades. As a result, the Baotou-Lanzhou Railway has been in safe operation for more than 60 years, and the Tengger Desert was forced to retreat by 20 kilometers. With the help of straw checkerboards, mankind has won a key battle against the sand. But though a battle has been won, the war continues, now assisted by the very latest scientific sand control methods.
We separate algae from biological soil crusts, cultivate and propagate them, and spray them on the sand surface. The most advanced sand control method so far is the artificial algal crust. This is the initial state of the sand surface. This is the moss crust eventually formed. While it may take 5 to 7 years to form algae crusts naturally, it only takes 2 to 3 years in our experiment. Combining straw checkerboards with artificial crusts is more effective.
With the innovations in sand control, the area gradually extends from the Baotou-Lanzhou Railway. Technicians have grown a sand crust of over 70,000 square meters along the railway. Having been nourished by rain, it is covered by lush green vegetation, an oasis in the arid desert.
Look over there. Those are straw checkerboards from our sand control center.
Are they the flowers we just saw?
Yes, they look nice.
Tang Ximing is about to retire, but just before he does, he wants to show his wife and daughter where he fought against the sands.
How many checkerboards were made with your own hands?
Over 31,000 hectares.
How big is that?
How big is a soccer field? That is a vast area.
Hundreds of soccer fields?
Tens of thousands.
Incredible.
20 years and over 31,000 hectares covered, figures that testify to the perseverance, hard work of generations of sand control workers like Tang Ximing.
This is the first steam train on the Baotou-Lanzhou railway. Our initial mission in sand control is to guarantee the smooth operation of the railway. This train is out of use now and I will retire in a few years too. I'll be thrilled if this task is taken up by my successors.
From keeping the desert at bay to turning the desert green, the achievements of the sand control workers along the Yellow River testify to the power of perseverance. These days, however, the ecological construction of the Yellow River Basin is entering a new stage of high-quality development.
And here's a wrap for today's program. Thank you so much for hanging out with us as we explore China's strides in culture, trade, rural development, and environmental sustainability. I'm Lily Lu, and I catch you on next week's Meet China.
Discover the potential. Witness the opportunities. Experience dazzling exhibitions and captivating events. Explore groundbreaking innovations and future-shaping industries. Stand at the crossroads where the cities of tomorrow meet timeless traditions. Meet China, where every story is a new discovery.
This presentation was paid for by CGTN. The opinions, views, and claims expressed are those of CGTN and may not necessarily reflect those of CNBC.